Loud and hard and fast.
Which means it's time for...
The Cooper and Anthony Show.
You see, this week, Kelly Ripa is trying to tell us all that she passed out during sex with Mark Consuelos.
Is he that good?
I guess he's kind of a good-looking guy. I can look at him and be like, yeah, he's handsome. But he strikes me as being, like, super vanilla. Do you know what I mean? Like, just really boring in bed. I don't see the two of them having hot sex, even though she's adorable and has the really cute little body. I think she can be very annoying, and she seems very, I don't know, I just feel like the two of them together, I don't see it as being hot. But I guess that was the narrative that was out there about them, because why else would you come out and say, I passed out during sex with Mark?
And they've been married 900 years. So how hot can sex be after 900 years and 14 kids?
You know, and that's the thing, because the headline was, Kelly Ripa passes out from sex with Mark Consuelos. No, you didn't. Not for anything. How about this? Not for anything he did, you know?
It was probably too hot, and she hasn't had any food in like 6 hours. I've never had that happen.
Yeah, she lives on air and lettuce, so of course you passed out. You know, you passed out walking to work. Like, sex didn't play into that.
Yeah, you stand up too quick. It's like, oh, okay.
I bothered to read a little bit more into it because I wanted to see what really happened, and of course, it wasn't what the headline was. Don't try and sell us that Mark Consuelos is some like hot commodity in bed, because just, you know, look at him. He's handsome, but, you know, boring as hell. So I guess she had like ovarian cysts, and that's why she passed out. So it really had nothing to do with him. He just happened to be in the room at the time.
It probably helps him when he goes to bachelor parties. Oh yeah, I made her pass out. How you doing?
Oh, did you really? Look at the headlines.
Yeah, look, it's saved on my phone.
Right. It's the Cooper and Anthony Show. We're talking sex and relationships. Let's get to your calls.
Hi, yeah, my question is, what's going on with the hymen? You know, first of all, I want to know who gave the authority to the hymen as the decider of the construct of virginity. Is it really that accurate? Is sex the only way that you can, like, you know, pop that cherry? Also, I'm curious on hearing you speak to, like, what is happening when women have sex for the first time, or people with vaginas and hymens have sex for the first time. What's going on physically? Is there always blood the first time? Does everyone with feminine sex organs even have a hymen? Some people not. Yeah, so, like, what's up with the hymen?
That's a great question. It's good to start the show with that, because Anthony has no idea what a hymen is. He doesn't know much about the female anatomy. He just knows there's a hole and put this there.
But I know there's skin there when you're younger, and you have to break that.
Okay, so no. So the hymen, for anybody who might not be sure about parts of a woman, present company included, it's a thin piece of tissue that is located right at the opening of the vagina. Okay? It comes in different shapes and sizes. Some women are born without one.
It keeps bugs out and dirt.
Well, you know what? Yeah, kinda. That's kind of what it's for. It's there to make sure that it's kind of the same purpose of baby teeth. It's there for when you're young to make sure that, you know, bad stuff doesn't get in. So some women are born without them. Some women are born with ones that are so small that you couldn't even know that they're there. So they're all different sizes. It depends on the woman. So it's interesting you would talk about the hymen in terms of what it has to do with virginity, because historically there's cultures where they used to measure the bleeding after the first sexual encounter and on the wedding night, and that's how they would determine if the woman was a virgin or not. But they'd be SOL because less than 1/3 of women bleed when the hymen is broken during PIV sex. That's penis and vagina.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was confused by that.
Yeah, PIV, like just, heterosexual sex. So the idea of having a hymen, having anything to do with virginity, it's usually there to shame or pressure people with vaginas. It's a holdover from a time when it was important to know that the offspring was 100% yours. So, like, just a quick history lesson. So in the Middle Ages, virginity was like a sought-after commodity because, so if you married a woman and she was a virgin, you knew that the kid that you had was your kid. That way you can leave all your wealth and your house and your money to that kid that you know is rightfully yours. But that was really only for rich people because poor people, they had nothing to leave other people. You know, they had nothing. So the whole hymen thing is really like an aristocracy sort of thing.
They didn't even have Maury back then.
Right, there was no Maury.
So you couldn't know if it was your kid or not. You needed a TV station.
Well, no, actually, the sheet with blood on it was your Maury.
Oh, so you would bring that to court.
Yeah, there's blood on the sheet. You are the father.
No blood, not the father.
Not the father.
I think of the hymen like the door on the cat box. That when the cat goes into the cat box, it opens, and then when the cat comes back out, it's gone. So that's how I look at the hymen.
Yeah, that's actually pretty accurate. But the idea of the hymen and virginity, like, it's so stupid. Like, the two have nothing to do with each other at all. Like, you can break your hymen masturbating or horseback riding or just living your life, you know? And it's also unhealthy to label somebody a virgin or not a virgin because what about the LGBTQ plus community? Are they forever virgins because there's no PIV sex?
Right.
You know, what about oral sex? What if you use toys? What if that's all you do? So when you say to somebody, did you lose your virginity? It's a stupid old-timey thing to think that that necessarily means that there was a penis involved. Can we go to the next call?
Hi, Cooper and Anthony. I'm a woman in my 20s in a heterosexual relationship, and I'm curious to know how you feel that the importance of sex and kind of frequency of intercourse in a relationship plays a role in kind of strengthening that relationship, or if you feel like it can be kind of a distraction from more important pillars that kind of build a foundation.
All right, so let me get this straight. You're in your 20s in a heterosexual relationship, and you want to know how important sex is in the relationship, or if sex is a distraction to the things that are more important, as you say, pillars in building a relationship. Well, my first question is, isn't sex one of the more important pillars in building a relationship? And that's rhetorical. Don't answer it. Because I would say it's up there. I think that sex, for some people, it's in their top 1, maybe even top 3.
It doesn't come after what kind of car he drives. It's number 1.
I'm only saying that because there's been a ton of studies that say that really intimacy between partners has a lot to do with the kind of sex you have. And I don't mean often, because some people like sex often, some people like sex a little less often, but the intimacy part of a romantic partner is a really big part of the foundation of a relationship. Regular sex has been linked to lower divorce rates in married couples, you know, healthy sex life, sex positivity, that whole attitude. It's really good for your physical and psychological health. So, all right, that aside, there are people that sex does get in the way of other equally important, as you say, pillars of the relationship. And I think that's what you're asking.
Like going to work.
No.
I can't go to work today because we've been banging all day. That's kind of what you mean. You don't get the lawn mowed because you're busy having sex. It gets in the way.
I think that what she's asking is only because I've been through this. Everybody's been through this at some point, where you're having sex with somebody and you're like, is that all that there is in this relationship? Like, are we also friends? Do we trust each other? Is he coming with me to my cousin's wedding? Whatever. Like, where's this relationship going? And I think a lot of people feel like if all you do is have sex, then that's the relationship, that it's not going anywhere further than that. But I think that is really far from the truth, because for a lot of people, that's what starts the relationship. That's what builds the relationship. Mm-hmm. So the thing you have to ask yourself, like, your dude, I'm saying dude because you said you're heterosexual. So if your dude comes over and all you do is have sex, then that's something to look at. Like, why aren't you sharing other parts of yourself or your life with each other? You know, and is the
his
sex
wife doesn't like that. If he's only coming over just to have sex, then his other wife and other girlfriend, it doesn't like him to spend way too much time away from them.
Is the sexual connection all you have is what I'm asking you. You know, the important thing is you have to be honest with each other. So if you only want a sexual relationship, or if one of you only wants a sexual relationship, you got to say that to the other person. You got to say, listen, I'm not looking for anything serious here. I think you're attractive. I just want to have a sexual relationship. But I think that's really hard for a lot of younger people to say to each other, because certainly in a heterosexual relationship, like if a guy says to a girl, I only want to have sex with you, she's going to be like, bye. And that's the end of that. So a lot of guys like pretend to be into you and the stupid things you talk about and everything about your life just to have sex with you. So I think she's right. So what you have to do is get to know somebody pretty well before having sex with them. If sex
Okay.
No, I'm serious. If sex for you in your relationship is a distraction, listen, I had sex with my boyfriend the night I met him. Like, we literally went out for sushi and then we went in for sushi.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been together 12 years.
Oh,
so
dear God, that's disgusting.
So for some people,
I gotta stop. That's just, because I know you and,
okay, so I'm just saying, for some people, you can do both. You can have sex and have a relationship. But if what you're saying, caller, is that you find sex to be a distraction for the other pillars of the relationship, as you put it, then maybe get to know somebody a little bit better before having sex with them. That way you have those pillars, you feel like you know them, you're close with them, and then maybe you've built more between the two of you so that the sex might even be better, you know? And then the last thing I want to say is, maybe the guys you're with could also be picking up on your vibe. Younger guys only know how to relate to women through sex. Maybe he wants more, but doesn't know how to ask for it, so he just has sex with you and then he goes and plays video games. You might be giving off a vibe that is a little standoffish. Don't get to know me, get down there, and that's it. So I think it's important to think about what you want and ask for it, and then look at your own behavior. Are you giving off a vibe that says, don't take me seriously? I don't want any more than this.
But America's latest craze,
It's the Cooper and Anthony Show.
all right, here we go.
So my question is, how can someone in their young 20s get more comfortable with sex? Me personally, I've had sex, but it's been a little while for me, and I almost feel like kind of forgotten the motions, and I think it might be preventing me from like dating as well, because I know sex is something that comes with dating, and I feel a little uncomfortable with sex. So how can someone develop a bit more of a comfort around sex, maybe even kind of get comfortable with the discomfort with sex?
So really what he's asking is, how can somebody in their early 20s get more comfortable with sex? It's been a while for him. It's preventing him from dating because he feels uncomfortable with sex. And that's a lot of pressure for guys. Like, sex it's a sex with a big S, and it's your performance, and it's what everybody's always talking about. And I think the pressure from society and media and all the stories we read and TikTok and whatever, you keep hearing people like, it's a very sexual world we're living in. So I think there are people out there that are they have lower sex drives than the rest of us, or the rest of the people. I think there's a lot of people out there with low sex drives. And the thing is, if you have a low sex drive, you have to find somebody else that has a low sex drive. You know what I mean? It's about sexual compatibility. So if you have somebody with a really high sex drive, that's not the person you can be with, because you're incompatible. It's not that you're right and they're wrong, or the opposite. It's just the fact that it doesn't match. Your libidos have to match. That's the first thing. But you'll be happy to hear that despite being more accepting about people's sexuality and more likely to have sex-positive attitudes, the younger generation and younger generations in general are having less sex than millennials and Gen Xers. So it's normal to not be motivated by sex alone. It's a good thing that you take things slow. But you're saying that it's keeping you from dating because you feel uncomfortable with sex. And sexual discomfort that's a big issue. And it can have a lot of sources. Like, it could be something as simple as medication you're taking. You know, it can be emotional, it could be physical, it could be both. So, you know, if you don't have the Anthony bang all the chicks attitude, that's okay. I just think you should try dating for companionship and not for sexual gratification.
I think you need to go to that shady part of town and pay some money every now and then, just so you can keep your chops up, and maybe ask a couple of friends if they want to be friends with benefits, so you can keep that muscle working.
So get really good at sex, so that way when you start dating, you'll be like, I got this.
Right. Learn from the best. Go to that shady part of town.
Go to a pro.
Go pro. Let them teach you.
Okay, that is one way to do it, but I wouldn't advise that.
Why not? It's life short.
What I would say is don't look at dating that is something that must lead to sex. And state that up front with a person, by the way. So if you meet somebody that you kind of dig, say, listen, I want to take things slow. I don't want to jump into the sexual aspect of this relationship. I hope that's okay with you. I wouldn't say it on the first date, but I would say it like once you're talking to somebody and you're thinking like this is somebody you might want to like talk to on a regular basis. I think it's okay to say, I don't want to rush into things. And then once you get to know somebody, you might want to have sex with that person. You know, I'll tell you something. I was just talking the other day to somebody who just turned 21. And I was like, wow, it's really exciting. 21. Oh my God, such a great age. She's like, yeah, I can't wait to get married. And I was like, who are you marrying? She goes, I don't know. I just really want to get married. I'm like, but that should not be a goal just to get married. It's one thing if you meet somebody and you want to marry that person, but just as a goal to get married. So I think it's the same thing here. I think it's like, I don't think your goal should be take off the pressure of, we got to have sex. I think you should meet somebody, like them, be attracted to them, and then want to have sex with that person.
And then
rather
pay
than
them,
just like,
and then come back next week
pay
to
them.
do it again. If you're going to learn how to cook from somebody, you don't learn to cook from somebody like you who never cooks. You go to a chef who cooks all the time, and they'll teach you the right way. That's what you need. So when you do get to find that person, you're really good at it.
Anyway, there are 4 types of intimacy in relationships. There's emotional, physical, mental, and spiritual. And they don't all happen at the same time. You know, you may find somebody that you're physically attracted to, but they're stupid. You're like, oh, I'm never going to get into date. Like, I will never date this guy. He's just too dumb. Or somebody that you have this really great emotional connection with, but you're like, I'm not attracted to this dude at all. So eventually you will find somebody that you have all 4 with. It's not easy. You, caller, are the kind of guy that would find all 4 of those things easily because you're open to it. You know, as opposed to someone like Anthony that is telling you just to go to a prostitute.
Often, at least twice a week. And I think if you meet somebody and you get all 4 of those at the same time, you'll wake up in the Matrix. It's not the real world at that point. You're like, wow, where the hell am I? Wow, 1s and 0s everywhere.
The Cooper and Anthony Show.
Hello. Check unheard messages. First message.
So I met this guy on Tinder a few months back. We've been texting, some sexting, and we even FaceTimed a bunch. So I know he's legit and couldn't be catfishing me. We have great patience. But he won't meet me in person. I mean, we traded nudes. The photos I sent her faceless nudes. But, like, now I'm worried about that, too. So how much longer do I give this situation before I tell him to bounce?
Oh, I think Anthony can answer this one.
Yeah, he's married. And if he's not married, he's got 17 of you on the side. So run now. If the guy doesn't want to meet you, run.
Right. So if you're texting and sexting a guy you met on Tinder, but he doesn't want to meet you in person, and it's been going on for a while, you know, I'm kind of with Anthony on this. I'm not usually one to jump to the dump, but this sounds like the relationship you have is all you're getting with this guy. Because for whatever reason, like Anthony said, he's married. He has a bunch of women like this on the side. You know, maybe he isn't he's in a relationship he's not happy in. Maybe he's uncomfortable with his body. Maybe he has like a fifth arm growing out of the back of his head, or who knows. He's embarrassed about some aspect of his life, or there's something going on that he's not being honest about and he's unwilling to share with you. So whatever it is, all he wants is an online relationship with the occasional sex and dick pic and nothing more.
No, the thing is you are a game to him. You're nothing more than a game. You're a fun thing to play on the side, but you don't exist in the real world.
It's like a video game. He's playing
exactly
you.
Like he's playing Sims, and you're a sim in his life. You're never going to be anything more because I hate to tell you, he's got a wife and 4 other girlfriends.
And 5 arms out of his back.
And maybe has a tail that wags.
Right.
So you want to stay away from that guy. Your first instinct was to run. Mm-hmm. That's a good instinct. Go with your instinct. Don't listen to your friends. Just block him now. I'm telling you, nothing good. You're not marrying this guy.
Right. And I want to say one thing about sending nudes to somebody you don't know very well. It's smart that you sent faceless nudes. That was really smart. Not that he's into, I don't know if he's into revenge porn. We don't know. But you don't want to take that chance. But this is interesting. So there was just a study that was done. They said 1 in 5 women happily send nudes to a guy they're talking to. But of those 1 in 5 women, many of them have rules about sending naked photos. So, like, for example, your rule might be you only get a nude if we've seen each other naked in real life. Mm-hmm. Like, if we've had sex, I'll send you a nude. Or, like you did, never include your face. That's something you can do. Or only send pictures on Snapchat. There's definitely options. I mean, not that he can't screen cap whatever's on Snapchat, but, it's just, there's a lot of things you can do to make up your own sending nude rules, just to protect yourself, because you don't know where your pictures are going to end up.
What are you two doing here?
It's the Cooper and Anthony Show.
This week, you might have seen there's a little buzz about Adam Levine. He's gotten into some, I guess I'm going to say he's gotten into some trouble. He's a rock star. If you marry a rock star, they want to get their dick sucked. You know what I mean? Let's not pretend that a rock star is going to be like, oh, I'm going to be... Even if you're married to a Victoria's Secret model, even if you have made the commitment to be monogamous, that's just stupid. You can't be a rock star married to a supermodel and agree to be monogamous. You got to go into that marriage saying, listen, we got to be monogamish, because let's be realistic about our lives. You're gorgeous. You're a supermodel. You might want to decide you want to fuck somebody else at some point. I'm going to be on the road. So instead of me having to cheat on you, let's actually have a real conversation and be realistic about this. How about I can get my dick sucked in Chicago, just nothing where we live in Los Angeles?
Yeah, as long as we're not in the same zip code, I'm fine.
Yeah. And if you want to have a don't ask, don't tell, we can do that if that's better for you. But I think you got to be realistic. Mick Jagger is 70-something years old. He is still getting his dick sucked. So whoever he marries has to go, you know what? I get it. He's Mick Jagger. It doesn't matter how old he is. There's some 22-year-old down on her knees, backstage, waiting for him. Good for him. He has all my money. I don't care. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to be realistic.
You're telling me a rock star cheated on his supermodel wife with an Instagram model?
Oh, not just one, my friend. There are 3 more that have come forward so far. And remember, we're recording this show before you guys are listening to it. So by the time the show rolls around, there could be 100. This could be like a Tiger Woods situation. So for now, we know about 3 or 4 other women who have come forward. But here's the thing. He's doing that thing, and I wonder if you think this is even cheating. He's doing that thing where he's flirting heavily with girls on Instagram, like, oh, you're so fucking hot, or send me a pic, or that kind of thing, where it's like an emotional flirting. The girls that have come forward since, it doesn't seem like he met up with any of them. The reason why this Sumner Stroh story is a big story is because it seems like they did hook up. It seems like they did hook up a few times. So in case you missed this story, in case you were busy having an actual life and not paying attention to this stupid shit, Adam Levine, lead singer of Maroon 5, it came out this week that this Instagram model who had all the receipts, by the way. Like, this was not something she was making up. Her name is Sumner Stroh. Okay? They had like this little affair, or it went on for a little while. They met up in person, obviously. And then she went on with her life, on his life, and that was that, as far as she was concerned. But he kept contacting her, and he contacted her again. This is the thing. There's two things that we know. The reason why this story is coming out now, because their affair was like last year or something. The reason why we're talking about it now is because she had a bunch of pictures of her and Adam Levine, like together, like the kind of thing where like you're laying in bed with your lover, kind of, some sort of very intimate photo. We don't know what the photo is, but we know that she said it's an intimate kind of photo. She stupidly sent it to a couple of her best friends, like, hey, look who I'm hooking up with, kind of thing. One of the friends, she found out, was trying to make a deal to sell the photos to a tabloid. So that's the first thing. So she wants to get ahead of that. They'd stopped seeing each other for a period of months. Like it's been over for a little while. And just like a couple of weeks ago, he sends her this message and he writes, "Okay, serious question. I'm having another baby, and if it's a boy, I really want to name it Sumner. Are you okay with that? Dead serious." So he wants to name his new baby after the woman he's been having an affair with.
He likes the name.
I know, but so that would be completely inappropriate. The woman that he had an affair with is going to be the name of his kid? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's fucked up. So those two things are the reason why she decided to come out. And she put out this TikTok video, and this is the reason why we're talking about it, because she decided to, as she says, rip the Band-Aid off.
Essentially, I was having an affair with a man who's married to a Victoria's Secret model. At the time, I was young, I was naive, and quite frankly, I feel exploited. I wasn't in the scene like I am now, so I was definitely very easily manipulated.
I wasn't popular back then, but I am now.
No. What she's saying is she was just a chick, and they found each other somehow, probably on Instagram. It looks like on Instagram. And he had posted, she's so, like I said, she had receipts where he says to her, "Oh my God, you're so fucking hot." And she's like, "So are you." He's like, "You're much hotter you're so much hotter in person. As am I, ha ha ha." Like he makes a joke about himself.
I'm very hot. I'm very hot. So are you. We should
nice
hook
ego.
up.
Maroon 5 is practically elevator music at this point, so I'm sure you know who Adam Levine is. But Adam and I were seeing each other for about a year. After I stopped talking to him over, a period of months, this is how he came back into my life. He said,
so she shows us
"Okay,
this
serious
message.
question. Having another baby, and if it's a boy, I really want to name it Sumner. You okay with that? Dead serious."
Dead serious.
Yeah, she's got the vocal fry.
I was like, I'm in hell. Like, I have to be in hell at this point. My morals were unknowingly compromised. I was completely manipulated. I wanted to handle this privately. I never wanted to come forward because obviously I know the implications that come with doing what I do, making money the way I do, and being an Instagram model. So being tied to a story like this, it's like, I know the stereotypes. I had sent some screenshots recklessly to a few friends I thought I trusted, and one of them had attempted to sell to a tabloid.
Right. And the reason why she knows that is because what the tabloid does, after some rando sends pictures, before the tabloid, they do a little bit of due diligence. Before they post the photos, they run it by the people in the photos to make sure it's actually them. They do some fact checking to make sure the photos are legit. And the way you do that is, so the girl in the photo who's with Adam Levine, they contacted her and they were like, "Hey, these photos are out there of you with Adam Levine. We just want to verify, is this you?" And that's how she found out. I'm assuming that's usually how they find out. I don't know if that's what happened in this situation. She doesn't tell us. But for all the years working with Peter Grossman at Us Weekly magazine, who was the senior editor, whose job it was to procure those kind of photos, I know from him, from all those years that we worked with him on the show, that that's what they do. They verify the photo with the people in the photo. He's claiming that he never actually had sex with any of these women, certainly not with Sumner. I don't know about the other women. It seems like they just have messages from him and he just did a little sort of slid into their DM kind of thing. But with this woman, Sumner, it seems like they actually had an affair because, like I said, she's got the receipts on all this. So,
and photos. They were together.
She's got text, she's got photos, she has proof. When I say receipts, I mean she has proof. So he's coming out and denying it, and he said that he never had an affair. They never had an affair, to which she responded, somebody get this man a dictionary. Because he clearly doesn't know what an affair is. And then he said that, he does admit to having inappropriate conversations over DM or over text, but that nothing ever came of it is what he's claiming has happened. So that's why all these other women have come forward, but this is so funny. I think they're going to be okay. When I say they, I mean Hadid Prinsloo and Adam Levine, because they were spotted today. Again, I don't know what day you're listening to this, but they were spotted today, all smiles, holding hands as they walked back onto the property of their $58 million mansion. They own a $58 million house. Let that sink in for a second. Not just like you hear celebrities that buy like $10 million stuff. I mean, I watch $1 Million Listing, and they have these like $50 million amazing houses that like billionaires buy. They must be billionaires, or at least half billionaires or something, because who buys a $58 million house?
Yeah, you don't buy a $58 million house if you have $59 million.
Right, that's my point. Exactly.
Yeah, you have to have 20 times that. So, no, Maroon 5 makes money.
No, and she was a Victoria's Secret model, so she was like one of the Victoria's Secret models forever.
They both have money. They're both not
she had campaigns everywhere. Yeah, she definitely has money. He has more money, obviously. Maroon 5, all the solo stuff that he did. He produces other people. He's a songwriter. So, yeah. Some of my favorite things today, though, were what happened on Twitter, is that Twitter really blew up with people responding, and the responses were hilarious. One tweet from a guy named Philip said, Adam Levine said she will be loved. He didn't specify who. Pay attention, people. Somebody else said everything. Oh, Golden Gate Blonde, one of our friends, said everything I know about Adam Levine, I learned against my will.
Good for him for coming out with this story now, because up until this point, maybe the past 3 years, I've not thought of Adam Levine. There's no reason for Adam Levine to be in my life. So it's good to have him back in my life. Completely forgot about him.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, but not for good reasons, though.
As long as he's back in my life. I totally forgot about him. I thought we lost him during COVID, but no, I guess he's back.
So anyway, the latest is that Sumner Stroh, the woman at the heart of all this stuff who kind of started it all, she put out another TikTok video where she apologizes. She basically said, I was young and impressionable and I wasn't thinking. And, now that I really think about it, the real victim here is Hadid and her children. And to that, I say I'm sorry. But here's my attitude about it. I get that she feels badly being the other woman. I don't like the idea of anybody going after this girl. Do you know what I mean? She didn't do anything wrong. She had sex with a rock star. I mean, everybody has their hall pass. Whoever your hall pass is. Like, my boyfriend has a hall pass, and if he bumped into Bernadette Peters... No, it's Bernadette Peters, which is so random because she was flirting with him once, and she was really hot in person. And I was like, you know what? That can be your hall pass. If Bernadette Peters wants to fuck you, please,
or
my
Adam
friend,
Levine.
Please go for it. Yeah, or Adam Levine. Please go for it. But I don't like the idea of blaming the woman. The woman did not make the commitment to Hadid Prinsloo. He did. It's his responsibility. And women going after other women that's the wrong answer. You have to go after the person who did wrong, which is Adam Levine. He's the one that had the commitment. He's the one that decided to cheat. He instigated all of this.
Name the one you have chosen.
Goes by the name of...
It's Cooper and Anthony.
During commercial breaks and during songs, we've had fights.
Yeah, I guess a few.
I mean, not bad, but we've had fights. So this morning's show in St. Louis had a fight on the air.
Okay.
Then they went to commercial break, and the fight continued.
Uh-oh.
but the producer hit record. And it's not looking good for the host, the guy, at all. The thing I love about this story is the female co-host. Her name is Crystal Cooper.
Oh, no, another Cooper.
So in this story, you read, Faust can be heard calling Cooper fat, stupid, and nasty.
Just replace Michaels with that. It's the same exact story that happened before, yeah.
While nonstop using the word bitch. You're just a horrible mom. You don't know topics. You're just stupid.
And he's also a TV anchor, by the way. So he, as of yesterday morning, he was removed from the radio station's website.
And so was she, which is wrong.
Well, I don't know what's going on with her. We don't know if she's going to keep her job and they'll find somebody else. But he's already been fired. He's been fired from the radio show. So, and as of today, she's been fired from the radio show, but he's still working. He's a local news anchor as well, and he's still working as a local news anchor. And one of my favorite people on Instagram is Shitty Radio Jock. You follow him?
No.
Or her.
I don't have
know.
Instagram, so you follow it and you tell me.
Oh, wait, so you don't know about this? Okay, so there's somebody in our industry who goes as Shitty Radio Jock, and they out a lot of things going on. It's all accurate stuff. And some of it is really hard to hear, and some of it is stuff that, hits too close to home, but it's all super honest. And he's basically like a watchdog for our industry, and he's a truth teller. So he was the first that who posted this. And the latest thing was the TV station this, quote, professional media personality, end quote, works for is, and it gives the information. They still have Vic and his wildly obvious hair plugs listed on their website as employed. Feel free to call the general manager at Nexstar Media, and then they give all the information and all the numbers to call and be like, get this guy off the air. He's a misogynist.
I understand fights off the air, and this guy is an amateur because he has no idea what certain female the hosts can be like off the air. I'm just saying that. I'm not calling any names.
Hang on a minute. Here's the thing. You and I have had fights on air, off air. We're never disrespectful to each other. We never disrespect each other. We never call each other names.
Or fat,
we've never
or
done
stupid.
That. But we have never ever done that.
You are a bad mom. He did call her a bad mom, and I'll say you are a bad mom.
I'm not a mom. So
exactly. So I can call you a bad mom.
Yes, I'm not a mom at all. I'm a good dog mom. But that's the whole thing. He really laid into her.
You've yelled at me twice, and this is the second time in break now.
The problem is that you think that whatever you do is right.
No, I don't. I will totally own it. You're literally explaining yourself.
Reason to bring up it to attack me on air yesterday, and you did.
I did not attack you. Grow the up. Grow up.
You grow up, you fat.
I'm not acting like an immature.
Fucking, you started. And you always
it's bad radio when you keep bringing up your computer.
Radio when you don't even know radio.
Yes, I do.
You're a dumb.
Okay, I'm a dumb.
You don't even know the topics we talk about because you're stupid.
Okay.
You think you're special because you went to Villa, but you're nothing.
Yeah, that's bad. It's bad, and it's really misogynistic, and it's really awful. That's the whole point. It's like he clearly hates her. The difference is when you and I fight, it's clear that we respect each other and we still love each other. Do you know what I mean? It's obvious, and people laugh sometimes when we have these fights. There was one. Do you remember when we were doing the syndicated show? I forget. We were fighting about something stupid. It was really stupid, but it was enough that got us both so mad that we weren't talking. And we had to do the show and talk to each other.
Then off the air, we weren't talking.
Off the air, we sat there silent. Neither one of us said anything. Then on the air, we had to pretend that we were like friends again and everything was fine. And thank God we had Chad and somebody else there at the time. We at least had Chad. So Chad kind of came in and did a lot of the, like, I spoke to Chad spoke to you, you spoke to Chad.
Tell her she can go kiss my ass.
Tell him to stop reading lists.
I will not turn her mic on. That's what I will not do. I'll put her in the left channel only.
Tell him that I will put him on the unemployment line if he doesn't put me on both the right and left channel.
Tell her, thank God. Maybe I can get some sleep and actually see my kids grow up. But the thing is he said, he's giving her crap for bringing up a, quote, dumb topic, which is your fault because you guys should have discussed the topics before you went on the air. So you're stupid. And the other thing is, I guarantee these two have had sex.
Oh, you got that vibe from them?
100%. There's no way you're going to fight with your co-host like that.
And not somebody that you're not have been intimate with. Well, what started the fight?
What started the fight was the day before there was something wrong with the computer and he was bitching about it and she was giving him hell about it. And that's how it started.
Okay.
I love that the radio station took the whole Facebook page down because they couldn't handle the comments.
Right. Facebook page. And they took their radio station page down, too. They took them off the page immediately. Yeah. They're gone. They're gone.
Wow. Douchebag. And I would beat the hell out of the producer who recorded that.
Well, why? I mean, the producer just recorded what was there. What are they supposed to do?
You don't need to record off the air.
I know, but my guess is there's probably tension brewing in that environment as it was. And the producer was probably like, you know what? I had enough of this.
Tell her that she needs to take calls.
Tell him to stop dropping the calls after they ask one question. Because it sounds like we're not really on the air with a real person.
People think I'm obsessed with this, but I'm okay with it.
The Cooper and Anthony Show.
I'm curious what you think about Leonardo DiCaprio dating Gigi Hadid.
Okay, I'm floored by it. I couldn't believe it when I saw it, and I was just taken away, lost for words. How about that?
Okay, Mr. Sarcastic. No, seriously, because we just had a conversation about Leonardo DiCaprio last week about how Gen Z has no idea who he is, and the few that do are like, why would I date a 47-year-old guy? Like, if you're in your early 20s, late teens, like, why? Mm-hmm. Creepy, weird. So Gigi Hadid is 27, which is older than he normally dates. You know, the narrative about him is that he dumps them when they turn 25. There was that whole chart that was made by, I don't know, Slade or Jezebel or one of those. What's interesting about it is that there's two narratives going on about it today. One is that it's a publicity stunt, is that DiCaprio is sick of people saying that he doesn't date people over 25 and she's 27. And the other is that, like, it's just a sexual relationship and that very quickly she'll get sick of him. Like, I don't care how good looking you are, how famous you are. At 47, if you're Gigi Hadid and you're a supermodel and you've been with Zayn Malik and other like hot young things, you're not going to look at a 47-year-old body for very long and think it's hot. You're just not.
I love that they were walking down the street together, and automatically we go, they're dating. They're getting married. Oh, my God. And they could have just been standing there talking because of nothing. We don't know if they're dating.
No, yeah, we do. It's official. And here's what's interesting. I told you a couple of weeks ago that he came to New York for Fashion Week, specifically to go shopping for models. The rest of us shop for clothes. He was there to shop for models. But he was seen hanging out with Gigi Hadid during all of Fashion Week. They went to parties together, and they told friends they're just getting to know each other, nothing official. They're just like spending time together to see what's up. So now it's a couple of weeks later, and according to sources that are close to them, they're dating. It's a thing. Like, they're together. So
when they changed their status update to taken, then I'll believe it. But right now, he is never going to settle down. I don't see it. Way too many women out there. He's having way too much fun.
Yeah, I don't see him settling down with Gigi, but she needs to know that. Like, the problem is, she's a mom and she has a career, and she's not a normal 27-year-old. Like, at 27, I was thinking, like, what am I doing for dinner? I wasn't thinking, what am I doing the rest of my life? I was like, people would say, what are your plans for the future? I'd be like, you mean breakfast? Like, what are you talking about? She has a kid. She has a career. She has money. She actually lives in my neighborhood here, so I see her wandering around once in a while. She's like an adult already. She's not a normal 27-year-old. I think she's too mature for him.
Yeah,
I think
that's the problem.
Yeah, she's going to see very quickly that he's not looking to be someone's. I think this is the first mom he's been with. I don't think he's looking to be a dad.
I don't think by the end of this conversation there's still going to be a thing. Because once she brings the kid over to meet him, that's it. He's gone. That's Caprio kryptonite right there.
Yeah. I hope she's not going to do that soon. I mean, the kid's a little baby. It's not like it's a 14-year-old where it's going to have an opinion. It's a tiny baby, but I don't know.
No, that's even worse.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, you're right. From his perspective, it's even worse.
You're having sex and you hear crying in the other room. He couldn't get his pants on fast enough.
That's hot.
Well, what is that? Is that the neighbor's baby? No, that's my... What? You have a baby? I got to go buy some cigarettes.
No, she's got a townhouse. The baby's on another floor with a nanny. Don't worry about it. But I think the bigger nightmare is going to be, her mom is Yolanda Foster. No, well, yes, actually. She's only a little bit older than him. So that's the first thing. Yolanda Foster's her mom, and her mom was on Real Housewives of, I think, Beverly Hills.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And she's a real Budinsky. Like, she gets all up in her daughter's business, even though she pretends not to. She's all up in their business. They're very close, so you understand it, but it's a little too much. It's like, it's more than a mother. It's a smother. It's too much. And I say that because I have a friend who's on the board of a Lyme disease organization that Yolanda is on. And she has all of these ideas about Lyme disease. It doesn't matter what the doctors tell her. It doesn't matter what the medical community says. She has her own science and her own facts about Lyme disease, and she's very like, no, here's what it is. She's one of these women that just like, she knows better than you. No matter what you know, she knows better than you. So I can't see Leonardo DiCaprio really being into a mother-in-law that's a couple of years older than him, who is just really opinionated. She's going to start telling him what movies to take. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's that
meet
woman.
Her because he's going to hear this and then run out the door. The minute he hears a baby crying, that's it. So you're telling me that that's in the house? Yeah, that's not the neighbor's kid? No, that belongs to you. Yeah. Does it stop? No, not really. Okay, I gotta go.
Well, let me throw another wrinkle in this for you. So, when celebrities sleep with us nobodies? Back in my day, you would just hook up with a celebrity and that was it. You hooked up with them and you didn't tell people because it was kind of embarrassing, unless it was somebody really cool. But for the most part, like, you didn't brag about it. You definitely didn't go to page 6 about it. That's for sure. Like, you kept that shit to yourself. Now, as soon as it looks like it's going to turn into sex, they make you sign several documents, by the way, not just a non-disclosure, but also like a consent form. Like you are consenting to have, nobody person is consenting to have sex with this famous celebrity. You're not going to come back and say they raped you. You're not going to come back and say you were coerced. You are here under your own volition and your own decision. And afterwards, you cannot go to the tabloids under penalty of, we will take your life. Like, we will take every dime you ever make for the rest of your life. Like, it's the non-disclosures are pretty fucking tight. Like, you can't get out of them, and they're pretty tight. So there's a woman in the UK who, I guess she had sex with Leonardo DiCaprio, and either she doesn't care that there's a non-disclosure or the non-disclosure agreement is up. I don't know why she's kissing and telling, but she came out and said, this isn't so bad, but it's just weird. She said that Leonardo DiCaprio has a weird kink when he's having sex. She called it a kink. That he has noise-canceling headphones and he's into vaping. And he does both at the same time as like a sensory deprivation, having sex with the noise canceling while vaping, which, could be very helpful. There's a crying baby in the other room. Like, you can't hear it then.
Until he takes them off or the battery goes dead. No, in the movie Wolf of Wall Street, he was snorting coke out of hookers' asses. So I think the kinks in real life don't even compare to the things he did in that movie. So we've seen it.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess the noise cancel, but during sex, like, you don't want the person you're having sex with to be present and to be there. She made it sound like it's something where he likes a full like a full Inception deprivation tank sort of thing, where like he's a little high and he's got the noise canceling and he just sort of like powers through.
Because
like
he
just
dates 20-year-olds and they don't stop talking. And they keep saying like, hold on, keep going, yeah.
Whatever you're doing, keep going. I gotta look at this TikTok.
Right, like, oh God, shut up. So yeah, I understand.
Lesbian Nazi hookers abducted by UFOs and forced into weight loss programs. All this week on
The Cooper and Anthony Show.
Movie sequels that are coming out that I didn't even know had sequels coming out.
I hope every one of them is a Marvel sequel because I am obsessed. All I want is Marvel movies.
What happened to Cooper?
Cooper got Disney Plus and did a deep dive into so what happened was I started watching the new Captain Marvel, which I hadn't seen yet. But I realized as I was watching it that there was a couple of things in it that there was some storylines I had missed. So I stopped the movie and I went back.
Oh, you got to go all the way back.
Exactly. And it's been a long time since I saw all my Avenger movies. So I went back and I rewatched all the Avengers. I rewatched all the Doctor Strange. I rewatched all of the origin stories, all the sequels, all the prequels. The only thing I didn't watch... This is so weird. You know how much I love Chris Hemsworth. I just think he hung the moon. Like, he's a good actor and really fucking hot. I don't really like him I like him as Thor as an Avenger. I don't think he can lead a movie. I do not enjoy him.
Yeah, I haven't seen a Thor alone movie.
Yeah, I gotta watch the Ragnarok because there's so many references to that in other movies, but I can't. It's just not good.
Have you seen She-Hulk yet?
No, I just watched Moon Knight, though. I caught up on WandaVision. I caught up on Moon Knight.
No, you got to watch She-Hulk.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
It's written by women. It's about women. It's a perfect show for you.
No, I know the whole thing. I'm leading up to it. The thing is, the only reason why I haven't watched it yet, because that's its own thing. Mm-hmm. It's separate. Just like Moon Knight was separate. I'm watching all the things that are all tied together. So that way, when I watch the new Doctor Strange or the next whatever the Avenger, I don't know what Avenger movie is going to be coming out because they're all fucking dead. But whatever the sequels are, whatever the next one, maybe even prequels, who knows? I want to already have the background. And I didn't just watch the movies. I did a deep dive into like the Easter eggs. I read all the articles and I went to like some of the fan pages and I just went down every single Marvel rabbit hole I could.
That's a whole job now. That's your new job.
I watched 6 hours of Marvel.
Yeah, it's just too much. My son
Saturday.
Can't even do that. And he's a Marvel freak. So movies that are coming out that we had no idea were coming out. A Christmas Story Christmas. This is the sequel to A Christmas Story where they're bringing back Ralphie. He's all grown up now, facing the holidays yet again.
So the movie from 100 years ago, they think we need a sequel to now?
Yes, so they're doing it. It's coming out November 17th. So it's going to be here before you know it. Puss in Boots 2 is coming out December 21st. It's going to follow Puss. He's now on his 9th life. He's going to try to find his other 8 lives and keep living. So that's,
and who's voicing it? Is it still Antonio Banderas?
Yeah, he has to because he's Puss.
Puss.
Murder Mystery 2 is coming out.
What's Murder Mystery 1?
That's the Jennifer Aniston, Adam Sandler movie. It was the most popular Netflix film of 2019, so it's getting a sequel.
Okay, it's funny because when you said movies, I think the movie theater. I forget that You also mean Netflix. Yeah, of course. Now I know. Murder Mystery. Of course.
Yeah. Creed 3 is coming out. Michael Jordan is actually going to direct it, so that's going to be really good.
Oh, that's going to be great. And I'm so glad he's finally old enough for me to lust after. There was such a long time that I was like, nope, not appropriate, not appropriate. How old is he? How old is he? Okay, good. He's hot. He's an amazing actor. Like, he's a young Denzel in the way that he has all those qualities. I heard he's a very good director because they've already talked about some of the work that he's been doing. Good director, amazing actor. He's from The Wire. So, I mean, please, genius already. And just fucking hot as hell. I'm so happy for that kid that he's doing so well and that he's such a talent.
So what's going to happen is he's going to fight, and then he's going to fight somebody really good, and then at the last second, he's going to win.
Right, of course. He'll be losing. You think it's all over, and then he comes back.
And then he wins, and then Creed 4.
When the music comes up, he's coming back. Yeah.
Scream 6 coming out March 31st. Courtney Cox coming back.
I have been waiting for this fucking movie for years. It's taken them so long to put this together. They announced it a long time ago. They teased us with it. I have been waiting for this fucking movie for so long.
Yeah, Scream 6, March 31st.
Too long. Too long from now.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse 2, which was the cartoon, which is really good. So,
but this is with Tom Holland. This isn't a cartoon. This is not.
No, this is the cartoon. So the cartoon earned $375 million at the box office. It was the best Spider-Man there was. So people are really looking forward to this. The movie nobody's looking forward to, Transformers, June 9th. It's gonna go in a new direction. Which is going to be really great because Michael Bay is leaving. So, good luck with that.
Yeah, without Michael Bay, and is Shia LaBeouf involved still, and Megan Fox?
No, it's better not to have him.
Okay.
Indiana Jones 5 coming out June 30th.
Yeah, we saw Harrison Ford talking about this at Comic-Con recently, and then some other con that he was at talking about it. He looks really old and feeble. He's going
to do it. So
I know. I don't know. I'm sure. I know that he's in it. I know he's got this whole thing going on, but I think it's going to be uncomfortable to watch, in my opinion.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge is going to be in it. The Fleabag girl.
Yeah, she wrote it. Didn't she co-write it?
No, she's going to be playing his goddaughter.
Oh yeah, she's awesome. I'll love it for that. But to me, it's not even the age. It's the fact that he just strikes me as being very. Somebody hold him up, he's going to fall down. That's what I feel when I watch him. Yeah.
Insidious 5 coming out July 7th.
Thank God. These are my favorite movies. Yeah, you know how much I love Patrick Wilson. He does all those Blumhouse production movies. Now, you know the whole thing with Blumhouse, right?
Yeah.
Have we discussed this? In case you don't know, Jason Blumhouse Productions, they are famous for spending very little money on a film. They give you a budget, and that's the budget, not a penny more. And they shoot everything in one place, like Get Out and Insidious and all those movies that they've done. The Last Key, Insidious, The Last Key, all of those, and they cost very little to make, and they make a ton of money. That's the business model for it. And there's a famous story where one of the movies, I forget which one, something that took place in a house somewhere. The director had said to Jason Blum of Blumhouse, "Listen, I would love it if we can just add these and these special effects that'll make a big difference. It's like another $10,000, not that much." He said, "No, that's your budget." He's like, cut something else if you need to, but that's your budget. Sorry, I'm not giving you a penny more. He's like, "Okay, I found a way we can do it for $8,000. I'm not giving you another $8,000. Like, he wouldn't even give him $8,000. This guy is worth like $500 million, and he's not giving $8,000. So that's sort of, when you see Blumhouse, you know that the movie's in one location, it's very cheaply made, and the idea is they get a lot of celebrities, and they hope it's going to make a ton of money, and then these people make their money on the back end.
Yeah, Insidious 5 is going to follow the son from the original movie now a decade later as he heads off to college.
Oh, so good. I can't wait.
Yeah. This is Spinal Tap 2 coming out 2024, which they better hurry up with that movie.
Why?
The guys are a little bit old now. So you better hurry up while all three of them are still living.
No, but they're all working. They're not, they're not that old, and they're all working.
To play Spinal Tap, you got to hurry up. Beverly Hills Cop Axel Foley, so that's coming out 3. Or is that going to be
Eddie Murphy
4?
in it?
Yeah, he's going to be in it. He has to.
Oh, okay. He has to be.
Yeah, well, I didn't think they could make a Fletch without what's his face, but I
Chevy
guess
Chase.
Without Chevy Chase, but they did.
That's because everybody hates Chevy Chase.
I know, but he was.
We don't want the original one with him.
But he was Fletch. Beetlejuice 2. It's been rumored it is coming out.
Again, that's another one that it's too late.
It is. Too late.
Beetlejuice was so long ago, and the thing is, here's your measure for this. So Beetlejuice was really huge for the younger millennials about maybe 15 years ago. It's over. It's so over for them that Beetlejuice on Broadway that just opened is already closing because nobody wants to see it. Nobody cares about Beetlejuice anymore.
Yeah, you better really bring it and make a whole new movie. Bad Boys 4 is coming out.
They're only up to 4. I feel like they've had 40 of those.
No, they're 4. But I want to see it if you replace Martin with Chris Rock. Then I'm there.
That would be hilarious. Will Smith and Chris Rock as bad boys. It would just
4.
The whole movie would just be them slapping each other. It'd be great.
Baby Driver 2 is coming out.
Another one we've been waiting a long time for. Did you see Baby Driver 1? Did you see the first one?
I loved it.
Did you?
Loved it. So I'm the audience for this.
But what took so long? Because that was 2017.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was a real long time ago.
It better be really good. Demolition.
Hang on. It's director Edgar Wright.
Right.
Who we love. I mean, Edgar Wright is a huge award-winning director. I mean, he's a really, really important figure. Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, Scott Pilgrim.
Oh, yeah.
He's done all of those movies, and Baby Driver was his big. He won awards for it.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why it took them so long to make it. My guess is that everybody in it, except for John Hamm, because he's not very busy. Everybody else in it must have had other contracts and things they were doing. Lily James, Ansel Elgort, Jamie Foxx. All those people are really fucking busy. And there's no way they're going to have Kevin Spacey.
No.
Yeah, there's no way.
No, because that would be horrible. Demolition Man 2, which was the Sylvester Stallone movie from the 80s.
Okay.
So nobody's looking for that.
No one's looking for that.
The Expendables 4.
Okay, yeah, I'm down with that.
Okay, how about this? This would be good a million years ago. Face Off 2.
Again, they waited way too long for that.
Yeah, they're going to have a whole new cast. It's going to be a reboot.
Oh, well, a reboot. So it's going to be it's really not Face Off 2. It's Face Off.
Face Off. Yeah.
Yeah, they've updated it.
The movie nobody's looking for, Gremlins 3.
Yeah, again, you waited way too long.
30 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah, too long. And last, I Am Legend 2. Please replace the dog with Chris Rock. It's the end of the world. There's only 2 people left, and it's Will Smith and Chris Rock. I'm there. Opening day.
Exactly. Then we'll watch it.